ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Good morning, welcome back. So let us solve some more problems. Find ratio of velocities of methane and oxygen molecules so that they are associated with de Broglie waves of equal wavelengths. So here we have two molecules, one is methane and other is oxygen. One is methane and other is oxygen. So the given condition is they have same de Broglie wavelength, that means lambda of methane is equal to lambda of oxygen. So we know that lambda equal to h by mv, where mass of a molecule, velocity of a molecule. See, we cannot find the absolute mass. Instead of that, what I will do is I will consider Avogadro number of molecules of methane, Avogadro number of molecules of oxygen. That means 1 mole of methane, 1 mole of oxygen, same quantity I am taking. Then what happens, this mass becomes mass of Avogadro number of molecules. So simply this is nothing but molecular mass, right? So that is the point I am assuming here. So substitute here, what I will get, h by mass of Avogadro number of methane molecule, velocity of methane, h by mass of Avogadro number of oxygen molecules, velocity of oxygen. So anyway, h will be cancelled. So you can write one more step. So this is what we got. We require methane to oxygen velocity, velocity of a methane to velocity of oxygen by mass of methane. So if I take 1 mole, approximately the mass can be replaced by molecular weight. So here 12 plus 4, 16, and here it is 32. Correctly reverse. VCH4, VO2. So MO2 by MCH4. This is 32 by 16. So velocity of methane by velocity of oxygen is in 2:1 ratio. Coming to the next one, an electron with velocity v is found to have certain value of de Broglie wavelength lambda. The velocity that the neutron should possess to have same de Broglie wavelength. So here two particles are given, one is electron and other is neutron. Yes, neutron. One is electron and other is neutron. So they have same de Broglie wavelength. So we know that mass of electron is approximately 1 by 1837, but I am taking it as 40. Mass of proton, remember mass of proton is slightly less than mass of neutron. Actually I have to write 1837, right? So approximately I am taking it as 1840 because in option you have 1840. Next, mass of neutron approximately I am taking as 1 AMU. So this becomes 1 by 1840 AMUs. Next, velocity of electron is given as v. The velocity of neutron should be Vn, given that lambda of electron, lambda of neutron are same. So substituting lambda equal to h by mv, de Broglie's concept, mass of electron, velocity of electron, mass of neutron, velocity of neutron. Anyway, h will be cancelled. So velocity of neutron we require Vn, velocity of neutron is equal to mass of electron into velocity of electron by mass of neutron. So substituting here, what we get, velocity of neutron equal to mass of electron, that is 1 by 1840 AMU. Velocity of electron is v by mass of neutron, that is 1. So this is V by 1840. So option B is correct. Next question. If the energy of the photon with frequency nu is given by E is equal to h nu and momentum p equal to h by lambda, then velocity is equal to. So what is given? Energy of photon is given as E is equal to h nu, right, and momentum p equal to h by lambda. We have to find velocity. In both this equation you don't see any velocity, so let us try to write in terms of velocity, that is nothing but hc by lambda. H is anyway constant. C, velocity of light, we require velocity of light here. So if I write C equal to this becomes E by h into lambda. Now I have to eliminate lambda. Lambda is equal to what? Lambda equal to what I can write? Lambda equal to h by p. So substituting here. So C equal to E by h into lambda. Lambda is nothing but, say this is 1 and this is 2. From 192 you can say, from 192, right. Velocity C equal to E by h into lambda, that is h by p. So simply what we get here is E by p. So option B is correct. Next, calculate the momentum of radiation with wavelength lambda. So I can use the same equation. We have to find momentum p, right. Wavelength is given in SI units, right. So let us see here, momentum which is equal to m into v, m SI units kg, velocity meters per second. So these are the units in SI scale. So next we have to find what? Wavelength is given. We have to find momentum. So P equal to h by lambda, h equal to 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. You can convert joules into kgs. Joules is energy unit, is equal to mc square. You can use that equation. Lambda in meters. Okay, so this one is 0.33 nanometers. Nanometer is nothing but 10 power minus 9 meters. So 0.33 into 10 power minus 9 meters. If I rewrite this equation by, so let us write 3.3 into 10 power minus 1. So 10 power minus 10 meters. Right. So this is approximately 2 times 2 into 10 power minus 24 kg meters per second. Next one, the ratio of de Broglie wavelength of a proton and alpha particle will be in 1:2. So this is the required ratio, that is 1:2. Alright, for what? De Broglie wavelength of proton and alpha particle will be in 1:2 if their velocities ratios and kinetic energy ratios. So to solve this, let us find the velocity ratios first, then kinetic energy ratio of proton to alpha particle. So let us start with velocity ratio, right. So the given particles are proton and alpha particle, right. Oh, okay. So now mass of proton, we require mass of proton. Let us take this as approximately 1 AMU, right. Velocities we have to find ratios, and kinetic energy EP. This is kinetic energy of proton. Next, mass of alpha particle. It is approximately 4 AMU. Alpha particle is nothing but helium nuclei. So we take helium nuclei, of course it is He+2, that is the only difference. Next, velocity of alpha particle, we use the same letter, let us say kinetic energy of alpha particle as E alpha. First let us find velocities ratio. So the condition given is their de Broglie wavelength must be in this ratio. So de Broglie wavelength of proton to that of de Broglie wavelength of alpha particle equal to 1:2. But according to de Broglie equation, what I can write? H by mv. So H by mv of proton and mv by h of alpha particle, because lambda is equal to what? H by mv. Lambda equal to h by mv. So just substituting. First I have taken this ratio must be equal to this ratio, h by mv of proton to that of h by mv of alpha. Let us simplify. Now we know that h will be cancelled. So mass of alpha, velocity of alpha, mass of proton, velocity of proton. What we require? Velocities. So velocity of proton by velocity of alpha. So velocity of proton by velocity of alpha is 2 into mass of alpha by 1 into mass of proton. 2 into mass of alpha. What is mass of alpha? Which is equal to 2 into mass of alpha, 4 units. So 2 into 4 units. This is 1 into 1 unit. So what I will get is 8:1. So velocities must be in the ratio 8:1. Let us see the ratio of kinetic energy also. Now lambda equal to h by square root of 2m kinetic energy. 2m kinetic energy. So lambda of proton to that of lambda of alpha must be in the ratio of 1:2. Then what should be their kinetic energy? So anyway, 2 is constant, m is not constant, E kinetic energy is also not constant, because we have to find that ratio. So it is inversely proportional to, what I can write, lambda is inversely proportional to square root of mass into kinetic energy, right. So I am writing mass of proton, kinetic energy of proton, mass of alpha, kinetic energy of alpha. So squaring on both sides, I will get 1 by 4. Mass of alpha 4, kinetic energy of alpha, mass of proton 1, kinetic energy of proton. So we require proton to alpha. So kinetic energy of proton to that of kinetic energy of alpha. So just cross multiplying. So what I will get is 16 by 1. Their kinetic energy should be in the ratio of 16 by 1. Right, next one. The ratio of de Broglie wavelength of electron and proton moving with same speed. So this is simple one. So we have electron and proton. Let us consider this as de Broglie wavelength of electron, de Broglie wavelength of proton. They are same. Not there, no, sorry, they are not same. With same speed, okay. With same speed. So let us start once again. Electron. Let us assume its de Broglie wavelength as lambda e. Mass of electron, which is approximately 1837 of mass of proton. So here it is given as 36. Let us take 36. Velocity of electron v. Proton. So de Broglie wavelength lambda p. Mass of proton, let us write 1 amu or simply mass of proton. Velocity of proton, same velocity, so same speed, so I am taking v. The ratio of de Broglie wavelength, so lambda e by lambda p, which is equal to, right, okay, let us write like this. So what is lambda equal to? H by mv. H is anyway constant, so I am writing for electron H by mv of electron. lambda p h by mv of proton. Anyway, h will be cancelled. So in the next step, this becomes mass of proton, velocity of proton by mass of electron, velocity of electron. Now same velocity, same speed. So velocity of proton, velocity of electron, both are same. So I am cancelling. Mass of proton. So if I write mass of proton like this, so mass of electron is mass of proton by 1836. So these two will be cancelled. So what I will get is 1836 by 1. So option A is correct. Next, an electron makes 5 crests during one revolution around hydrogen nucleus. The electron belongs to 5 crests, means 5 troughs. So 5 crests, 5 troughs, which makes equal to 5 cycles. So number of electron waves, number of waves made by electron in a orbit will be equal to principal quantum number. So here it is making 5 wavelengths, therefore 5th orbit should be the answer. N must be equal to 5th orbit. Right, next, the circumference of 3rd orbit of helium nuclei, helium ion is x. The circumference of 3rd orbit, what is circumference? 2 pi r3. 3 represents 3rd orbit, 2 pi r is circumference, 2 pi r3, r3 means 3rd orbit of helium nuclei is x meters, x meters. So helium nuclei, so z equal to 2. The circumference of 3rd orbit of helium ion is x meters. The de Broglie wavelength of electron revolving in this orbit will be, let us assume the de Broglie wavelength as lambda 3. Remember, lambda 3, 3rd orbit, 3 represents 3rd orbit. So n equal to 3, 3rd orbit. Right. So anyway, let us find the relation between these two. This is the first condition given. Let us find lambda. So in the last class we have studied this relation, 2 pi r equal to n lambda. Yes. So this is 2 pi r3. Which orbit it is? 3rd orbit, lambda 3. So instead of 2 pi r3 I can write x meters. So x equal to 3 lambda 3. So wavelength of electron in 3rd orbit equal to x by 3 meters. So that is option A, x by 3 meters. Next question, the momentum of photon of a wavelength is given will be. So you have to find momentum, simple one. So P equal to h by lambda. So as you can see the units, h, SI unit 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. Wavelength is 662 nanometer. Nanometer means 10 power minus 9. So I can write 1, 2, 3 points. 6.626 into minus 9, 1, 2, 3. So left over is 6 minus 6 meters. So approximately this will be around 10 power minus 28 kg meters per second. So option A is correct. Next. So for those if you are not understood wavelength, see here 6626 nanometers. This is 6626 into 1 nanometer. 6626. 1 nanometer equal to 10 power minus 9 meters. Now I am placing point here so that again easily cancel this. So 1, 2, 3. 3 numbers after point, 6.626 into. So I have used 10 power minus 3 in this. Left over will be 10 power minus 6 meters. So I have substituted this here. Approximately I can cancel this. Approximately 10 power minus 28 minus 6. 10 power minus 6 to the when it moves to the numerator becomes plus 6. Minus 34 plus 6 is minus 28. Next, if lambda be the de Broglie wavelength of a thermal neutron at 27 degrees Celsius, the wavelength of same neutron at 927 degrees Celsius. So this is something interesting. So lambda equal to h by mv. V is nothing but velocity. You can say RMS velocity. The meaning of RMS velocity is root mean square velocity. We will study about root mean square velocity in states of matter, second topic. So for the timing, just remember that. Now RMS velocity equal to 3RT by m, where m is molecular weight. M is molecular weight. Now R, m are constant for a given gas. 3 is constant. So V proportional to Vrms proportional to square root of T. I can replace this here. Lambda is proportional to, because h and m are constant, square root of T. For a given gas, mass is constant, molecular weight is constant, R is constant. So lambda is inversely proportional to square root of T. We have two temperatures. One is 27 degrees Celsius and other is 927 degrees Celsius. So lambda at 927 by lambda at 27 degrees Celsius equal to square root of temperature at 27 degrees Celsius by temperature at 927 degrees Celsius. So temperature at 27 degrees Celsius is 273 plus 273, 27 plus 273, because remember temperature must be in which units? Kelvin. So converting into Kelvin, 927, that is 927 plus 273 Kelvin. So this is equal to what? 27 plus 273 is 300. 927 plus 273 is 1200. So this is nothing but 3 by 12, 1 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 2. So lambda 927 equal to lambda 27 degrees Celsius by 2. This is approximately 0.5 times of lambda. So is lambda 27 degrees Celsius is nothing but simply lambda. I will get a smaller value, 227. Lambda at 27 degrees Celsius is nothing but lambda. 1 by 2 is 0.5. If the radius of first Bohr orbit is x units, so let us write what is given first. Radius of first Bohr orbit. So let us assume this as for hydrogen. Assuming for hydrogen, so I can write R1H. If the radius of first Bohr orbit is x units, so this is given as x units, then the de Broglie wavelength of electron in the third orbit is. So he is asking de Broglie wavelength in the third orbit. So we know that 2 pi r equal to n lambda. So if I want to use this, if I want to find lambda, first I have to find R3. So R3H equal to R1H into n square by Z. Z is 1. I am assuming hydrogen atom. I require an element so that atomic number remains constant for R1 and R3. So I have taken hydrogen, the simplest one. So R3H equal to R1H into n square. What is R1H? X. So third orbit, therefore it is 3 square, which becomes 9x units. So R3H is 9x units. I require lambda. So 2 pi R3 third orbit equal to n lambda 3. I require lambda 3. So this is 2 pi R3 by n. So 2 pi R3 is nothing but 9x units in terms of x by n, that is third orbit. So 3 times 3, 9 I will get. So 3 into 2, 6. 6 pi x units. So you will get second option. Now coming to the next one, if E1, E2, E3 are kinetic energy of an electron, comma, alpha particle and proton, electron, alpha, proton, then with the same de Broglie wavelength, then the relation. So you have to find the relation between kinetic energies of electron, alpha, proton if they have same de Broglie wavelength. So let us solve this by using the equation lambda equal to h by square root of 2m e. M is mass of the particle, E is kinetic energy. So we are given three particles, electron, alpha, proton. Let us substitute them in the same. Lambda, same de Broglie wavelength equal to alpha. So de Broglie wavelength of electron equal to de Broglie wavelength alpha equal to de Broglie wavelength of proton. Substituting in this equation, what I will get? H by 2 into mass of electron, kinetic energy of electron is given as E1, so substituting E1 equal to H by square root of 2 into mass of alpha particle, kinetic energy of alpha particle is given as E2, substituting as such. Next, lambda p, that is H by square root of 2 into mass of proton, kinetic energy of proton is given as E3. So upon simplification you can cancel H square root. So left over is Me, mass of electron, kinetic energy of electron equal to mass of alpha, kinetic energy of alpha, mass of proton, kinetic energy of proton. So M into kinetic energy values must be same. Now let us come back to the question. If E1, E2, E3 are kinetic energies of an electron, alpha, proton with same de Broglie wavelength. So in order to attain, see, when their de Broglie wavelengths will be equal, if this condition is met, if this condition is true, right? But what is the relation between mass of electron, mass of proton, mass of alpha? Mass of electron is less than mass of proton, which is less than mass of alpha. Mass of electron is 1 by 1837 times of 1 AMU. Mass of proton is 1 AMU. Mass of alpha is 4 AMU. So in simple language, mass of electron less than mass of proton less than mass of alpha. But in order to attain this condition, the respective kinetic energy should be in this order. E1 should be greater than E3, should be greater than E2. So if this condition is achieved, then this relation can be obtained. If this is obtained, then only the de Broglie wavelengths will be equal. So the required kinetic energies order will be E1 greater than E3 greater than E2. That is option A. And then a proton and alpha particle are accelerated through the same potential difference. Remember, potential difference is same. So the ratio of their de Broglie wavelength, right? So for charged particles, de Broglie wavelength is equal to h by 2m charge on the particle into applied potential. Remember, their applied potential is same. So I am writing capital V. Charge will be different, so mass will be different. So lambda is proportional to square root of h is constant, 2 is constant, mass will vary because they are different particles, and charge will vary, and given condition is applied potential is same. The potential difference applied for acceleration is same. So lambda is inversely proportional to square root of mass and charge. So the first particle is given as proton and the second particle is alpha. So de Broglie wavelength of proton to that of de Broglie wavelength of alpha is equal to what? Square root of mass of alpha, charge of alpha particle by mass of proton, charge of proton. P represents proton, alpha. Right. Now see here, mass of alpha in AMUs, alpha particle is nothing but helium nucleus, so 4 AMU. Charge on alpha particle, that is nothing but plus 2 units. Plus 2 units. Next, mass of proton in AMU 1 AMU, charge of proton 1 unit, positive charge. So this will be equal to what? 8 by 1. 8 you can write it as 2 into 4 by 1. Square root of 2 is 2. So you will get 2 root 2 by 1. So 2 root 2 is to 1 is the answer. Next. The de Broglie wavelength of a vehicle moving with velocity v is lambda. Its load, that means mass, is changed so that the velocity as well as kinetic energy. Remember, both velocity is doubled, kinetic energy is also doubled. What will be the new de Broglie wavelength? So here we have, first let us find lambda in terms of velocity as well as kinetic energy. So for that I will derive a simple equation. So momentum equal to m into v, multiplying and dividing with half and v. So I am writing v square half v, multiplying and dividing with half into v. So half into v, half m v into v is v square by half v. Now what is this? This is kinetic energy of the particle, and this is half into v. Let us keep it aside. What is lambda equal to h by p? Substituting this here, h. So okay, this you can further simplify, kinetic energy by v. Substituting here, what I will get is lambda equal to h by p. So 2h kinetic energy by v. V stands for velocity, kinetic energy, right? So from this equation what I can write? Lambda is proportional to kinetic energy by velocity. Now see here, kinetic energy is doubled, velocity is also doubled. That means this ratio remains same. Therefore wavelength do not change. If velocity as well as kinetic energy of the particle is doubled, both are doubled, then wavelength remains same, because lambda is proportional to kinetic energy by velocity. So remember, as velocity as well as kinetic energy is doubled, de Broglie wavelength of the particle do not change, because lambda is proportional to kinetic energy by velocity. So lambda remains same. So the answer is lambda. An electron is continuously accelerated in a vacuum tube by the application of a potential difference. If its de Broglie wavelength decreases by 1% over a path length of 1 centimeter. So assume this path length is constant. So here the de Broglie wavelength decreases by 1% of its initial value. Okay, so its kinetic energy. So what happens to the kinetic energy? Right. So we require the relation between de Broglie wavelength and kinetic energy of the particle. We already know that it is 2m into E, where E is kinetic energy. So lambda is inversely proportional to square root of kinetic energy. So this is the relation between de Broglie wavelength and kinetic energy of a particle. Now come back to the initial one. So initially you have a wavelength. Let us call this as lambda 1. So it is accelerated continuously. If its de Broglie wavelength decreases by 1%. So let us assume the new de Broglie wavelength. When the particle is accelerated, the de Broglie wavelength changes from lambda 1 to lambda 2. Let us find lambda 2. Lambda 2 is decreases by 1% of its initial value. So what is the meaning of that? That is lambda 1 minus 1 by 100. 1% is 1 by 100 of lambda 1. So if I take lambda 1 common, what I will get? So 100 minus 1, that is 99 by 100, that is 0.99 of lambda 1. So if lambda 1 is assumed as lambda 1, then lambda 2 will be 0.99 of lambda 1. So this is a change in wavelength. We have to find change in kinetic energy, right? So initially when lambda 1, de Broglie wavelength is lambda 1, let us assume kinetic energy as E1. When its de Broglie wavelength is lambda 2, that means it is changed from lambda 1 to lambda 2. Lambda 2 has a decrease of 1%. So then the kinetic energy, let us assume it as E2. Substituting in this equation, what we get? Lambda 1 by lambda 2 equal to square root of E2 by E1. Now substitute here, what we get? Lambda 1 is lambda 1 itself, lambda 2 is 0.99 of lambda 1. So E2 by E1. We have to find change in its kinetic energy. Let us find E2. So lambda 1 will be cancelled. This is 100 by 99. So E2 by E1 equal to 100 by 99 whole square. It will be equal to 1.02. So the kinetic energy after the change in wavelength will be 1.02 times of E1. So in fact E2 is greater than E1 because this is 1.02 times of E1. So it is increasing. So percentage change in kinetic energy equal to increase in its kinetic energy. So what is the increase in kinetic energy? Final kinetic energy minus initial by initial into 100. So what is final kinetic energy? 1.02 E1 minus E1 by E1 into 100. So if I take E1 common here, it will be cancelled. 1.02 minus 1 is 0.02 into 100. So this is nothing but 2%. So there is a 2% increase in its kinetic energy. So option will be 2.